tugging on my throat. Then her tail became the spine, spread the nervous system, traveled through time. The third eye of the mind, sunshine to the blind, ignite liquid light, create breath in sight. So when the stars in dark fight, pterodactyls are born, dinosaur, lizard, in natural form. After ages, epochs, blizzards, and storms, it is ice age as we sharpen bronze blades. First art is drawn on the walls of the cave. Why didn't God save Abel from Cain's hand? The Cain became man of the land. This is Canaan with a K9 by my side at all times as I ride from Nubia to Jerusalem. Babylon was built, flying in Hindu on magical guilds. From the coat of the bull to Bullock's milk, you will mummify the barrel in black and gold seal. This my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. This my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. El Shaddai, Mount Sinai, Aquila the eagle, we fly high. Got the wise guy, a child of Israel, but is he real and did he kill? Whatever done on this battlefield, it is God's will. When I dance in your skin, I got no chill, then blood spill. On the wheels of the chariot, we carry it to Greece. We seek war and peace, create hordes and streets. Lupinar on our leash, birth the Byzantine peace. From the west to the east, village to village, for a medieval feast. Sprinkle acid in your yeast and lead in your wine. A crown for the clown as we rewrite time. Kings and queens deserve everything that we find outside of the garden of the lights. Baby, it's all crime, only marriage will cry. Saints pray no never mind till the witches start to fly. Laugh at the traitor that's amputated and fried. That's my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. This my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. Ahoy, the decoy, we got slaves to employ. They operate like animals, their souls are void, but don't make no noise. The natives will get you and eat you alive. After I gather their gold, I'll be wearing their hide. Without a godfather clock, the Mayans don't know time. Nobody's equal without the equine amigo and negro. Hung from a thin line, cartels and sambos, have some fun and some wine. From the boat to the dollar, we operate by the sign. Is it lies that we have? Stab the flag in the land, the moon in the sand. Put your hands behind your back for the contraband. Now we let Glocks demand. Souls to the black hole, is that cold here? Open a can of whoop ass, on me hold my beer. As we dance with the carcass that we piss on fear. This is the money religion and our God is clear. This my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. This my only arrow, keep my eye on the sparrow. I keep my eye on the sparrow, cause this my only arrow. This that grown man, I rely on no man. I survive these cold lands, I decipher the program, I just try to expand. With a 9 in my hand, I am 10 toes down, concrete knees when I stand. This is mind over matter, mental mass is the grands. That the grandmaster won't even ask you to speak when we clash. One feels so weak without cash, so you must keep in the stash. Or be deceased amongst freaks, cause he didn't peep the math. We are from a different class, a different school and rule. I don't fuck with you drug mules, I just speak and we cool. Don't make me reach for the tool and make you leak like a pool. And the last thing you'll see will be the bling from my jewels. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. Yeah. Welcome to Planet Hollywood, where everybody's a star. A place where people say it's all good, but they live behind bars. It don't matter where you go, the criminal is at large. We just evolved from white walls to big rims on our cars. Strong scotch and long cigars, made box and out of Mars. A monster on imposters, cause real niggas work hard. Monkey see, monkey do, copycats will have to face God. And when they do, a double head dog will rip them apart. We wave feather against hard. The stupid is for the dark. Them guns spark. If you ain't smart, better know your fucking position, nigga. Just play your part. Guess you gotta wanna be when you don't know who you are. So I keep the distance far. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. It's a cold world, so my pistol's made of gold and pearl. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day. How are you doing? There's an upcoming show we got to talk about on the 13th and on the 20th. I'll be back with Professor Shock to talk about the Kicked Out of Heaven Christmas edition. We will be going over all of the ritualistic practices of Western civilization when it comes to Christmas and how it was founded for America, specifically a lot of the activities that goes on in Europe. We will be showing some interesting clips, and we will be promoting the sale as I'm doing right now. All three books of the Kicked Out of Heaven, volume 1, 2, and 3, over 1,000 pictures for $50. Go and get it at kickedoutofheaven.com. And also 75% off on the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, volume 1 and 2. That is the paperback. And I only have maybe about 8 copies of that left. And you won't be able to get it no more at these prices. It'll be on Amazon for the big ticket, as you've been seeing. It's $200 each volume, and you get both volumes for $100 right here with me. Okay, once you go to thewomansalchemy.com. All right. So, yo, how y'all doing? I just came here to kick it. I needed to do an update. There's no specific subject matter, even though there's a lot of subject matter to go off of with what's going on in America right now. First and foremost, let's talk about that. God damn, they gonna charge a nigga to drive. What in the fuck are we doing? In New York, they're trying to charge people to drive. Just to drive from location A to location B, you have to pay. There will be tolls everywhere. And then they say they're charging you for the traffic jam. They're going to create a traffic jam at the toll by charging you for traffic jams. Does that make any damn sense? You know, it's very interesting because they're also in Oakland, they're trying to duplicate the same system that New York has introduced with paying for driving. This is outrageous. You have lost your fucking mind. It isn't funny at all. It's not comical. These are serious things that are happening. But the way the American mind is responding to it is laughter. You know, we're paying attention to all these comedians, and all these comedians are evolving, and we're just laughing it all off like it's nothing. There's nothing serious. There's nothing to be serious about here. And they're just going to keep on laying on the tax, laying on the charges, laying on the tax, laying on the What are we doing? You know, it's very clear that something on this planet don't like humans, or somebody that is ruling America, what they want to call the deep state, okay, is ruling America, and they're trying to destroy America through a multitude of ways. It's an attack in every single area, from your food
to social influence and engineering, what people are posting. There's a lot of anger. People want to be angry, road rage. And you got the school shootings. There was one here yesterday in UNLV. Let me state something about that. Rest in peace to those who lost their lives. It was a very unfortunate situation, but it did occur. These situations, which have been in multitude, and there was a large break between the UNLV and the so-called last um, publicized one, because there's a lot of no, you can shoot questions now, bro. We're just talking, so I'll approach questions while we're doing, while I'm just go ahead and yakking at you real quick. So it's crazy. The UNLV, it was a professor that wasn't supposedly he wasn't targeting students. He targeted other professors. It was a professor who tried to get a job at UNLV, 65 years old, white male, and he didn't get the job. So supposedly he shot up some people at the school, and one of the people that lost their lives was a fellow teacher. So they think it was some form of jealousy. I don't know. All I can really state is 9 times out of 10 he probably didn't have a wife. A woman does balance you, especially in moments of stress, moments of pressure. She's supposed to be able to balance you and alleviate you, but nowadays women are educated on the status of make the man fall in love with you so you could be an asshole to him. And a man is supposed to be the representation of God. Therefore, I can be all types of assholes to him. You do whatever the fuck you want to him, and he isn't supposed to respond in any emotional format. He's supposed to keep the pressure down and just go with the flow of whatever bullshit you want to bring along. And that's not how it works. When I was a child, I noticed that the way men were talking with each other, that they accepted some status of slavery. Like they were supposed to take on this status of slavery and just work for the children, work for the woman, and whatever the woman or the children wanted to do to him, whether that be ignoring him, neglecting him, or abusing him in some other way. He's supposed to be the almighty I am and take every punch, and not respond to it. And in other countries, still to this day, the majority of the world operates with brothels, and they operate with exposable women, and also they're exposable and they're disposable. You can dispose of them, if I'm saying the right word. It glitched in my brain real quick, but you're supposed to dispose of them. And these women, you can commit whatever violence or whatever anger that is built up in your system on the women at the brothel. That's the way America was designed. Okay. That's why you don't hear anything about what was going on in the 1800s. They say, yeah, the country started in 1776. There was the War of the 1812. Oh, and then we just skip up here to World War II. They don't tell you nothing about what was going on in the 1800s because the whole country was gangster. The whole fucking country was gangster. And I'm leaning on that to go into the position of the brothels. In Chicago alone, in the year 1900, they had 600 brothels in just Chicago. I think New York had about, maybe 500 or something of that nature. New Orleans had a whole red light district and brothels going. So did Atlanta. All that Bible Belt talking bullshit. Give me a break. And then they tried to push the mentality or the aura, the spiritual aura of the brothels over to the gold rush, where the term gold digger came from the Western exploration, which the Oregon Trail and the Trail of Tears, and a lot of people were pushed out west. And the West is a hardcore scenario, the Southwest, okay, where I'm at right now. This is probably the strongest spiritual location of the country. I can't speak for New York. I haven't lived there. So I can't speak for a Boston or a Philly or a DC, which I know there is a lot of spiritual warfare going on down there, but whether that be, angels against devils, or the angels being the devils, or the angels and devils versus the humans. Okay, that all of those systems operate at the same time. So down here in the Southwest, it gets hard body. Okay, on the West Coast, it gets hard body in those zones, and that's part of the reasons why California is named after all Saints. Everything dealing with California is named after Catholic words. So Sacramento is the sacrament. You got San Andreas, which is Saint Andreas, San Francisco, which is Saint Francisco of Nisi. Then you have San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio, Texas. That's Saint Anthony of Padua. You have Los Angeles, which is Los Angeles, which is a dance. You have Las Vegas is not a Catholic word, but what's interesting about Vegas is also the word vagus, which is the same energy, and the vagus nerve is what controls a very serious control center in the nerve system of the human body. Okay, so that's spelled Vagus. Okay, so then you have what's another city over there? San Francisco, San Diego, which is Saint Diego. So the list goes on and on, but just understand that Southwest and California West Coast is all the understanding of the Catholic energy because of the warfare, the spiritual warfare that goes on here. So we didn't know that when America was being established. So when the gold rush came out here, and they tried to, and the saloons started, the brothels started, and all of that, the girls, obviously, as they're opened up to another world, of another existence, another dimension, they had access to a lot of that. There's a lot of psychic power that goes on. When you compare the geographics, it's clear out here. So basically there's no trees. So you can see and hear, and your clairvoyance and your telepathy is at a higher pitch than what you would experience in an Atlanta or a Georgia, because there's a lot of trees and there's a lot of interference in the atmosphere, which will allow you to be in a more covert hiding mentality and more of a tunnel vision and being focused upon your own. And you can bet that's the same energy with a New York or things like that, because there's a lot of concrete, there's a lot of mirrors that bounce the sun rays off. A lot of concrete sucks energy out of humans, and it also blocks telepathic skills. Okay, so just knowing that America was built just like ancient Rome, Greece, and was built off the city of Corinth, which was a city based with prostitution. The America was built off the same thing, and you can see that during the 1800s. You have to study the 1800s. Okay, so, and I would say all of that to say that women, and even out here, a lot of the girls that were sent out here to the Southwest and the South and the West Coast during the gold rush, there was, whorehouses developed specifically on the principle that they were calming the men from violence being erupted everywhere over gold or menial issues or respect issues in small towns. Okay, specifically. And we're talking about black girl houses, because during the 1800s, there was a lot of racial segregation when it came to the brothels here in America. So the black girls had their own little houses, and they moved all the way out here from Alabama and Atlanta. Same with the white girls, same with the Mexicans, same with the Asians. Okay, they all had separate houses. Okay, and the brothel system was very vast when you want to talk about what was going on in early America. And I say that because today we don't have the enforcement of a loving nature from women onto men, specifically to calm the hostility that is built up in the male from everyday life and the responsibilities the what he's expected of in life. Okay, we don't have a calming system for that, and the brothel historically has always been a calming system for male hostility. And now what do we see? We see incels, we see school shootings, we see all types of other shit because America is hell bent on the division in between male and female, and definitely not trying to play this invisible card like a female is not a male's pleasure and peace. And it's always been that way, even if it's reduced down to just a sexual act and there's really no emotional exchange. Okay, which usually, if we want to get down to the details of these brothel scenarios, a lot of the girls that worked in them actually built up, or there was an allowance of a customer to build up an emotional value with that girl, and by the time she got 30 years old, she was married off to the John that was a familiar. He was, more, he was a repeat customer, shall we say. Okay, and in him being a repeat customer, he fell in love with the girl and he married her off. Okay, he made a honest woman of her, and that is truly the definition of the honest woman, which you'll find inside the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. The definition to an honest woman is marrying your mistress. Okay, marrying the girl that you've been poking on or that you've been shacking up with. You have made an honest woman out of her by marrying her. Okay, so that was it. And culturally, nobody looked down upon that situation. Okay, not until this whole 1900 zone came in, and the 1900 zone, I'm probably sure because of the influence of the number nine, America fell into a space of imposing perfection, and the imposition of perfection is what made you sweep a lot of things underneath the rug. And there's a lot of shit that was hidden when it comes to family structures, when it comes to, who's your mama, who's your daddy, what happened to your family, what happened to the finances and all of this other shit during the 1900s. There was a lot of imposing of perfection that we weren't able to hold on to. And a lot of that nasty buildup of the filth that was on the other side of that perfection reared its ugly head during these 2000s, and now we're mixed up in a lot of shit because people aren't educated historically, or historically illiterate is what's going on here. And people don't see what humans have always been through, like for instance, being high or getting high. A lot of people don't know what a getting high is. Getting high, which is a euphoric state, which is internally, obviously, your body, is a restriction of oxygen, and each one of the hallucinogens, you want to call them, or drugs or whatever, do it differently. And that this includes alcohol. They all restrict oxygen, and they will either increase the blood flow or slow down the blood flow. Okay, so that's what it is. So screaming is a form of high. When the preacher is at the podium and he's bleeding, he's got the sweat coming out the forehead, and he's yelling at the top of his lungs and all of this, he is getting high in that moment. Okay, when the fan is in the stand and watching the Michael Jordan jump to the hoop and they're screaming at the top of their lungs, defense, defense, all of that is a high. Okay, Michael Jordan himself playing the basketball, lifting weights, practicing, talking shit while during the course of the game is all an intoxicant, is what you have to understand. So when we break it all the way down with the uniqueness of our planet, especially when we look at the vegetation and how many different plants alter the state of the human mind, we see that this dimension is actually designed for you to get high. Therefore, each individual is designed to seek their specific high. Okay, so a lawyer defending his client in court, and him combating and trying to convince the jury that his client is innocent is a high. Okay, for the judge To lay a sentence on the criminal is a high. For the criminal to commit the act and then to be charged with the act and then to go inside of the prison is also a high. This is what you have to understand of what getting high is. Every human is designed for their own high. Lifting weights is getting high. Okay? You have to understand that. Reading books is a form of high. Okay? Learning new information, for me, intelligence is one of my highs. Okay? I no longer smoke weed or none of that other shit. So, sharing intellect with the homies, or especially with the female mind, and we get to discover new perspectives and new lanes of thought. We're exchanging euphoria. We're getting high. Okay. And that's what this whole thing is about. That's one of them. There's many other layers to it too. There's begging, there's receiving gifts, there's the parade, facing darkness, which is what we're going to be talking about during the Christmas edition with the show Shock. We're going to be talking about Krampus. We're going to be talking about facing the darkness, okay, which is what winter season is. Here in Las Vegas, the sun is down at 5 o'clock, and it comes up at around like 6 o'clock. So it's dark here like 12, 13 hours during Christmas season. It's kind of crazy, but that is what the status is. So when you're in Christmas, the Sagittarius season, in the Scorpio, you're in darkness. Okay. The Sagittarian is the centaur, but it can also be considered the headless horseman. Okay. It's the double complex, which Sagittarian is extremely 50-50 in their complex of existence. And that isn't really good to me. I don't really think I'm a 100% nigga. I like to go all the way with things. I don't like to be half in, half out with shit. I like to give it my all if I can. And 2024 is definitely going to be that test for me, because I got to stay on the performing. I do perform. I don't record all the time when I go out everywhere. I'm not no nigga that's got to, I don't brag about fun, And so bragging about fun is what the basis of Instagram or Facebook is. That's what a lot of women do. They think their freedom to be able to drink alcohol with the stupid male not knowing the consequences of alcohol, and they hold the bottle up, and they're doing this in parading format. They're bragging about fun, but to brag about fun to me is a 5-year-old mentality. That is a mentality of an immature kid. And that's what you see. They say, oh, we're having fun over here. No, you can't join our group. No, we don't like you. Over here, we over here playing with the beach ball or whatever the fuck. You see, that shit is bullshit. You're a child. You have a, let me take the picture. Let me take the picture with the homie in the picture and the picture and the picture and the picture. And that's why all these niggas who take all these pictures and do all these videos, where they end up at? Tell me where they end up at. Jail, nigga. Okay? Because you steadily exposing all types of shit about your operations. Like, I got a lot of operations that I get down with, but I'll never speak about it in the public light. I'll never mention it in a song neither, because there are a million ways to get money out here. You get your money and figure it out. There is no, the rapper is my daddy and gonna listen to the rapper on how to get some fucking money. That's not the case. Look at a movie like, what's that movie? The Boilers Room. They listening to rap music on the way to sell stock and to run a Ponzi scheme through telemarketing. Okay, but they're listening to rap music because the rap music is nice and charged and get you up to do that. Them niggas ain't listening to this nigga talking about pushing no kilo. They're not selling the 8-ball off of what the rapper is saying do. You see? And that's what I'm saying. Like, street money done dried up. So, good luck with that shit. If you think you're going to make some money off the motherfucking streets, or if you're looking for somebody else to talk about money so you can feel comfortable in that lane. Yes, it is very wise to listen to billionaires and millionaires and listen to them on how they, to inculcate that energy. But when it comes to rappers, you don't know what these niggas is looking at. You don't know what they're fucking doing. And I saw that during the East Coast, West Coast beef, when I was a little kid. I bought the Pac, the All Eyes on Me. Okay, I bought the Ready to Die by Biggie, and Biggie had a suicide song on that album, and I was just like, whatever. And then Pac died, and I bought the Machiavelli joint, and the Machiavelli joint, he got this nigga on a cross, you know. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening here? Because he died right when he died. The album came out too. I was like, yo, this nigga, the nigga just passed, B, and you got him on the cross. You know, I didn't like that. It didn't sync with me too well. And then the Life After Death album came out, and it's titled Life After Death, and I copped that too, because once Pac hit the scene with the All Eyes on with the double disc, everybody was like, oh shit, we got to do double disc, nigga. He ain't the only nigga that could do it. So everybody came out with the double disc. Biggie came out, Master P came out with the fucking True to the Game album, that was a double disc. And then the fucking Bone Thugs came out with the Art of War was a double disc. So everybody came out with double disc album. Life After Death was double disc, and got Biggie standing right next to a hearse right when he died. I thought that shit was so disrespectful. And I don't see how nobody else ever thought that shit was disrespectful. That shit was a slap in the face. And I was like, yo, B, the nigga just died, and you got this nigga standing next to a hearse talking about life after death. And I'm like, yo, you know, something ain't right. And then his last album was titled Ready to Die. I was like, yo, this ain't and it's funny you said Wu-Tang had a double disc too, and that's cool. They did, but I wasn't really a Wu-Tang fan. I was never a Wu-Tang fan. I only liked Method Man, and that was it. I didn't really sink on to, too much New York shit, New York rap at that time was like, yo, I'm the best, nigga. I'm the best. That was their overall mentality. Like, yo, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best, nigga. I'm the best. Look at me, nigga. I got the gold rope, nigga. Nigga, me, 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 me. That was the overall mentality of East Coast rap at that time. Okay. When I went down south was like, nigga, we fucking with the butt cheeks. We fucking with the pretty bitch and the big butt, booty, booty, booty knocking everywhere, doo-doo brown, all that type of shit, and shit. I likes me a bitch, nigga. I likes me a beautiful woman. So yeah, I can sync with that, and then the West Coast was like, nigga, we over here shooting up niggas. The cars is bouncing, nigga. We keeps a beautiful bitch, nigga. We fucking on it, nigga. And we out here slinging this rock, getting this money. I can sync with all of that. You understand? And them niggas have maintained the line since then. You see what I'm saying? So we see what has exposed from those regions over time. Okay, and what was going down. And me, I'm from the Midwest, nigga. My niggas do or die and Twisted stayed 1,000 throughout the whole route and still 1,000 to this day. Didn't fold on none of this shit. You understand me? Keeping it po pimping is what it was. You understand? So I was fucking with that. I wasn't really fucking with the conscious niggas, and the niggas is weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So, because if you ain't got no female conquer on you as a male, you're a fucking weirdo, is how I look at it. That you're on the planet for these reasons. You know what I'm saying? If we boil it all the way down to caveman time, it's just man and woman, nigga. Okay? So if you can't, hold your position with the woman, nigga, I can't, nigga. I'm not fucking with you. Like, what the fuck? So back to what I was stating. There was a lot of weird shit going on during the whole East Coast, West Coast beef. And I don't know what you niggas got going on behind the scenes. So I'm finna keep the distance and keep the faith. We throw up the sign of the cross, nigga. We do the sign of the cross. Cause you niggas, we don't know what the fuck you got going. I was definitely fucking with my nigga Scarface and the nigga UGK and all of that shit. I was always fucking with Texas. Texas niggas kept it thorough to this day. West Coast niggas kept it thorough to this day. We see East Coast niggas did not. A lot of funny style shit that came up out of that realm. And niggas ain't do nothing about it but stay quiet and act like it didn't happen. Hopefully it'll blow over. That's some weak ass shit. You address the problems, nigga. You handle the problems so you can keep your throne solid and the way it appears to the world, And I wasn't, it's just weird shit, B. and yeah, so I don't deal with a lot of the social engineering, as we see what happened with Puffy, you know. Look at what Puffy did, that whole shit, the whole shit with him and Shine, I was just like, oh, because Puffy had some real good, Bad Boy had some good music back then. When it was Total, it was, they was doing the Missy Elliott, they was doing the Biggie, they had the Junior Mafia. They never signed Junior Mafia, but the Junior Mafia Conspiracy album is a classic. I had that joint. Little Kim was my crush back then. It was my Hollywood crush or whatever. It was Little Kim, and I was fucking with all of that shit. And then all the weird ass shit come out. This nigga Shine shoot up the club. You let your mans go to jail for 15, then you lost to J-Lo at the same time. And I'm just like, what type of shit is going? So I just stopped fucking with it. The whole shit. I'm not everybody is judgmental. You're gonna be judgmental on what colors you wear in the day. You're gonna be judgmental if your boss breath stink. You're gonna judge everything, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Everybody has their own fucking layer of judgment. Okay, don't start with the fucking bullshit because everybody wants to be hypocritical about judgments when only because a real nigga who balls hang gonna fucking state what the judgment is, and then and niggas they want to be combative with everything. Nigga, combat, nigga. That's your point. I don't give a fuck. I'm finna stand on mines. You're not finna merge this over here. I know what I've seen. I know what the fuck how I'm finna respond to it. I don't know the details. Let's be very clear. But sometimes when you see the results, you don't even have to know the details because the results prove the details. And in America, we are result driven. You understand? So, there's a lot of shit I didn't fuck with. I fucked with DMX all the way through. Phenomenal. I bought the LL Mr. Smith tape. I sat with LL for a minute. I had the Fugees album, So there was a lot of shit I fucked with. But yeah, I don't even know how I got on this shit. But social engineering is what the project is. And we see the uterus has taken down Brother Love. You understand? Brother Love is now looking at many court cases from rapes and all types of shit that then went down, and you are implicated, nigga. You're going down. And this is the medieval way. The medieval way was definitely a status of, yo, we let you do 20, 30 years of your crime or whatever, and then when you slip up, you get too big, you got too rich, we're gonna take you down, nigga. Take you down. So somebody asked me, what are your thoughts on the migrant crisis in Chicago with crimes going up? Chicago has always been a criminal capital. You can go back to the mid 1800s or the late 1800s. There was white gangs, black gangs, mafioso shit going on, Murder Incorporated, the prohibition with alcohol. So Chicago, you see, that's what I'm saying. When you're historically literate, you understand that none of this shit is new. Just like what I was saying earlier about getting high. Ancient Egypt, they got high off of the lotus. In ancient Maya, they got high off of chocolate and peppers. The motherfucking Indians was smoking out of bones, and they was smoking the peyote. You got ancient India, they using the ayahuasca. Everybody was getting intoxicated in every single time period on this planet. Okay, humans are tired of the shit. We have to work. Okay. And we have a consciousness about our work where we get tired. Animals really don't. They do what they want, what they got to do, sort of like a robotic genetic process. They're all automatically born on what to do. They get a little alleviation for their social freedom. But besides that, nigga, you gonna stick to the code. You mate during this season. You create your home like this, nigga. We eat these foods, and that's it. And they've maintained the same diets and the same structure for thousands of years. It is the human who is defiant. Okay. So when we want to talk about crimes in Chicago, nigga, they've always been high rate. It's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, and if you put a ball if you put two balls next to each other, and the one that has a flat roll versus the one that goes up and down, the one that goes up and down is going to get there to the end point quicker than the one that goes on the flat slope. The flat slope. So what that is stating is that when things go up and down, you move quicker. There's more thinking that's done, and unfortunately, in our system, crime is what gets things going. Crime is what creates the hysteria, the entertainment. Crime is what creates new thoughts, new exploration, new exploring, you know. And that's definitely for those who have to catch the criminals as well, and also those who are the innocent standbys that are watching and admiring the criminal. And the reason why they admire the criminal, because criminality is a part of revolutionary and being individualistic and independent upon your thought process, being able to develop a plan and see your plan from A to Z, which the innocent bystander, the citizen, does not have that mind frame. That's why the majority of those who are entrepreneurs or business-minded men wearing suits and all of that shit come from a criminalistic background. Okay, as I was stating, 1800s was all gangster shit. Blacks, whites, Mexicans, Asians, everybody was doing the gangster. Cowboys, businessmen, the whole shit. Okay, and that's what developed all of your federal bureaus that you see now. Those federal bureaus in the late 1800s to the early 1900s were developed from criminals who had been in a multitude of different penitentiaries across the country and had been linked to a lot of different situations and had experience in areas, especially when it comes to health, amputation, surgery, and things of that nature, because that's one thing you're going to encounter in the low lives, okay? And we all come from the low lives. We all come from the mud hut. This is a new experience on planet Earth, you see. So with the crimes going up, a lot of the individuals that have came to Chicago and a lot of the immigrants that went to other locations like New York, Phoenix, so on and so forth, these individuals come from crime-ridden countries, for number one. For number two, a lot of them are pledging to go back to their homeland. And they're pledging to go back to their homeland because the dollar menu is shit in America. Okay. That's what it is in America. Okay. Um, yeah, this ain't the greatest from how some people feel. They want to go back to their homeland. They haven't been hit with the American bullshit, and they don't understand how our social system operates here. And it is very in depth. It's very sporadic. It's unpredictable. What can happen in American social system. Like, we don't know what's going on with the presidency right now. If you're going to vote, I suggest that you vote for Trump. No other individual is really trustworthy at this point. Trump has the grounding and the understanding of what America is and also what business is, and he supports that. And he is a supportive father of his children. And that's what I really think all the hatred towards Trump actually comes from, is from the fatherless nation, America. And not only that, I also have to state that there's a system coming in that the Republicans already got set up called Project 2025. I don't know if anybody's heard of this, but get ready, boy, because they about to hand it to the single mother's ass. Yes. Project 2025 says, nigga, single mothers who got a stepfather in the home, will lock your ass up. We take your children. There will not be any ain't no stepfathers in the fucking home, and you're not allowed to live by yourself. Any divorce situation, they got to go through like a 6-month mediation to try to fix and console their marriage before they divorce. If you have a child out of wedlock, you may go to jail, things of that nature. Yeah. Somebody said ninjas don't evolve from low-level criminality. No ability to respect hierarchical structures of authority. Yes, they do. They do evolve from low-level criminality, because you have to understand that the criminal mind demands greater. The job worker doesn't. You see, the job worker will get with the union and sit up here and beg for 50 more cents and shit. Okay. The criminal says, fuck you. I'm going to stand here and look at this scene. I'm going to develop the plan in my head, and we're going to get greater. As a matter of fact, we're going to get it all. You understand? I don't give a fuck what happens in the end, if you catch me or if you don't catch me. And while I'm developing this plan on how to get it, I'm also going to develop another plan on how you're not going to catch me and I'm going to get away. You understand? So the criminal always has more is the emotional violent crimes. That's not what crime really is. Crime is based off of, like it says in the Bible, you cannot give consequence to the man who steals to eat. You see? There is hunger and he is demanding greatness, and his greatness is going to be nutrition, food. Okay. And so he's going to want more and more and more and more. So what's been exposed to you is emotional bitch crime. What is it? Domestic violence is bitch shit. I ain't never been caught up in no domestic violence, nigga. What the fuck? Fighting in the middle of the street, drunk fights, shootouts, all that shit is emotionally based shit. That is not money based shit. Okay. So when we look at a lot of the gang beefs, all that gang beef shit be over some emotional shit, over a bitch or over what a bitch said, or somebody felt like they was disrespected. That's all emotional shit. That's not a financial shit. It's not finances. You see, they show you the finances like American Greed and all them niggas. Where they at? They getting interviews, and now these niggas is doing conventions, getting more dough. They're figuring out new plans, whether those be legal plans or illegal plans. You see, and a lot of criminal activity actually gets done when you're underneath the age of 18 to 15. And you should go hard. And those are your devil ages. You should be going hard in those areas, because by the time you go through the bullshit and you see how much shit explodes in your face, then when you get out your being, or you get off your probation or your parole, you want to give back, because you done fucked up so much shit. Now you feel remorseful about it, and you want to go cleanse your guilt. You want to be seen by Mother Mary, and in order to approach the Black Madonna, you must absolve yourself of your sins. And that is what the true essence is. You have committed war and heinous acts. You have slaughtered people. You have taken, fathers from children and sons from mothers. You have killed. Okay. You have went out here and you have taken the bag of gold. Okay. You have done all of these things. And now you have to cleanse yourself for it. And that's where motherfuckers feel like they got to do the charity. They got to do nonprofit organization. They have to give back and all of that as an adult, because the entrepreneurs, just like when they were doing the Robin Hood status, have to take care of a majority of people. That's what a real man is. A real man takes care of thousands of people at a time. Okay. Hundreds and, a mass amount of people, like those who develop the engine for the plane, or develop the cargo ships, and all of that. We're taking care of large numbers, the train, the bus, the large numbers of people, not just me and my own ass. We're not inconsiderate here. Okay. We're not self-centered with provision. Okay. And that's the same thing I've done with this literature, which is worldwide. Okay. As you've seen many times, I can show you right now, but we're not going to be all into the quote unquote ego. And a lot of people look at that type of stuff as egotistical when you explain your achievements, because they don't gain any achievements. So just because you have achievements and you speak on what's on your resume, and the individual wants to roll their eyes and suck their teeth, just know that that person is an unachiever in life. So you're not egotistical by stating what's on your resume. They are a non-believer because they are an unachiever. Okay. They don't do shit, and they don't know how to think in masse. They think in self-centered position, and that's why they flip the patty, and that's why they scrub the floor, because you have to work for somebody else. Okay, because you don't have the mathematics in your brain on how to think in mass, how to discover a problem that majority of people are having and bring a solution to that problem. Like, for instance, majority of the world don't know nothing about no Europeans and what they was really doing in the medieval, even though they didn't raise you on Mario Brothers, Three Little Piggies, Cinderella, Snow White, and all of that other shit. And all of that is medieval. The Game of Thrones, the Maleficia movie, the Lord of the Rings. I mean, come on. All of that is medieval. And you didn't even know it. So, because you don't know what their culture line is, and we had to explain that because I'm not convinced with you being a pilgrim, okay? And a pilgrim is somebody who is on a religious journey. That's all that is. That's not a specific title for a subculture religious group as they tried to make it, okay? That's not what that is, all right? So I wasn't convinced, and a lot of people don't know how you Europeans was operating, before you left Europe. So let's figure it out. And that's, I had to provide that, and also with the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women, the white culture, white civilization, it is very clear that they have dominated the women of all races on this planet, and they have made them worship them in a certain standpoint and also follow their lead. And with them following their lead, they get to lead their household by constantly bringing maleficia and witchcraft work to the household, which disables the man and also disables the children. But the native woman doesn't care because she'd rather get the accolades that Western civilization gives her. So I had to study the woman to attempt in bringing the woman back to you, if you have the balls to read this information and understand what you're dealing with, by courting many women of several different racial backgrounds, and you'll be able to get a good picture on what they're operating on and how they're trying to fuck you up and keep your household in, Al Bundy status, the Homer Simpson. Okay. And that's what a lot of them attempt to do. So if you want your woman back, you get the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Woman. Okay. And you get the kicked out of heaven if you want to understand Europe. Okay. And it is wise for you to go through volume 2 in the witchcraft section and why they burned up women for 500 years over there in Europe, and understand that before you get into inside the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. Okay, I will state that. So that's what it is. Niggas did evolve from low-level criminality. So did the Mexican. So did the Asian. So did the European. They all evolved out of criminality, my friend. Okay, go study the 1800s. What is war? War is a form of criminal acts. Okay, there's no real such thing as a war crime. If I want you gone and depleted, that's exactly what the fuck I'm going to do. And that's what this world is. That's based in animal law. Okay, that's natural law. Okay, the natural law says that if I have more cronies on my side, we will devour you. We don't give a fuck about anything else. There's nobody stopping the hyena from taking on the lioness while the lioness is trying to eat the antelope. You will be devoured with the antelope if you don't move your fucking ass, because I have more people with me than what you got. It's called manpower. That is a law. That is a law. You either got to have manpower by many faces on the dollar bill, or you have to have manpower by having 1 million men with you that support your philosophy of life and your philosophy of conquering. Okay, this is law. This is the existence. This is how nature operates. Okay, this is what it is. I don't give, and see, that's the whole thing. I like power, and power can't be moved. So I fuck around with answers that can't be adjusted. You can't debate with what the fuck I just said. You can't. And this is why all animals they operate in what? In large groups. But see, that's also animalistic thinking when you have to survive on living by a group. And we are humans. And humans tend to do specific things to divide us from the classification of animal. Being individualistic and being able to survive on your own is one of them. Even though in essence, you can't really do that. And what my men need to understand, because I even went through this personally in my own life, is expecting your woman to cooperate with you with attaining finances. Don't Do it. You're wasting your time. Okay. When we look at the Asians, when we look at the Caucasians, what do? They have a boardroom executive branch. The tree produces the branch. They have the boardroom. It's on the top floor. There is large windows for the sun to come through. And the men sit down at the table and they organize the plan and they execute the plan. Okay. Trying to get your woman to cooperate with you on finances is bullshit. Historically, when we want to talk about in mass, this is the first time in human existence that women have experienced money. Do you understand that? And they're doing it through their form of criminality, because a woman's battlefield of criminality is socialism. That's why I had to write an encyclopedia, is because they operate off of socialism. And their number one tactic in socialism is guilt tripping. So we just watched, for over the past 10, 20 years, we just watched women become millionaires off of, lifting their legs in the air on the OnlyFans, right? That's what we just saw. Did they donate any of that money anywhere? Did the Girl Scouts get better? Are there more nursing homes for elderly ladies? No. None of those things happened. Did they put money in any female-oriented businesses when it comes to the stock market? No. That didn't happen. Because they don't know what to do with no fucking money. Because it's not in their blood and genetics to understand what money is. As a matter of fact, if you want to get technical, their face isn't even on the money. It's not even on a coin. It's a male-operated system. And the reason money is a male-operated system is because we're the ones who had to barter. There was a time where there was no money and there was no police. We had to barter. And during the course of bartering, guess what else would show up? I got to barter the daughter. The daughter has to get sold for 5 cows. Okay. That's what used to happen. Okay. And then sometimes, if one family got too big and they were a militaristic family, you know what they did? They went to the next barn and they slaughtered everybody and we took your fucking shit. And that's what the mechanism of human existence was. Women are just now experiencing finances and they don't know what to do with it. They'll go get a Tesla, they'll go get a high-rise apartment, and they'll go party. And that's about it. They'll go get some dresses and expensive clothes, and that's about it. Try to impose jealousy amongst other people, all vanity, and then also try to impose admiration from everybody else. You see what I'm saying? And that's about it. Churches didn't get better. They didn't invest in any churches. So what did the women do with all these millions of dollars that they were making? Did they go into real estate? The real estate industry is plummeting as we speak. So is the stock market. I wouldn't play with either one of those. They're not balanced thoroughly right now. There's a lot of alteration going on in society. Okay? There's a lot of iteration. Okay. Hold on. Just got an invite from Mrs. Sophia, from Sophia, the Matrix lady. Hold on. I gotta respond to some business real quick. Yeah. So that's what it was, man. That's what it was. I was going to do a book on money and the way it has taken over the human emotional structure. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any more books. So if you want to get them, you better get them now because they're running out. And when they're gone, they're gone. And 720 isn't going back down this lane. I got to stay on the strizzies and do my performance and shit. I need to find a camera, motherfucker, all types of shit, man. Because, I got somebody hold my phone while I'm up here performing and shit. There's a new album coming out. It is phenomenal. This shit is phenomenal. It is loud. It is bright. It is dominant. It is conquering. It is masculine. Cut your fucking head off. With no question. Yes. That is what this new album is. And be prepared. Be prepared. Um, it's funny you said that. Let's talk about that. Somebody said can't give up on books. It's the essence of your last name. Yeah. Bookmaker. But we have to understand what that really is. Bookmaker is the power over words, which I rap too. So rapping is also words. So I'm still within the mechanism of books. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, here goes a book right here. The composition book. Oh, well, look at that composition book. And it has all my bars all up in it. You see all them pages? Because I write my own shit. Ain't nobody over here. I don't have no little elf that comes from underneath my bed and helps me with my bars, even though people have been very astounded by how I structure my lyrics. But yeah, so I'm not doing any more books. I don't think they were received correctly. I really didn't know that my level of intellect was at the level it was at until I put my information in front of my peers and it was judged worldwide. Okay. Private research universities, universities that the Pope was educated at. I feel honored. Military schools, Catholic schools, Jesuit schools. We're talking about private and public research universities. Even universities that look like castles right here in America. Universities that are over in Europe that were founded in the year 1000. Universities that Isaac Newton's literature is sitting in. The students were reading my material. So and it's very interesting. A lot of people want to try to move that to the left and say, oh, it's based on what you have compiled in your research. Now a lot of individuals buy my books and they only read my parts, especially in the Kicked Out of Heaven. I've had many people tell me that they only read my parts in the Kicked Out of Heaven. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, all that valid information that comes from firsthand accounts and literature that was written in the 1500s, you only listen to my shit? Like, okay, yeah, I feel honored because of that, but you missed the gist of what is going on here. Okay, you hear the story from the horse's mouth. The Kicked Out of Heaven is based on Europeans talking about Europeans. And I'm just giving a psychoanalytical view on what has occurred and how I compute things. Okay. And I definitely had to hit you with the epigenetics, so you were forewarned on what you were encountering when it came to the information and how you can relate that to your own personal interactions with Europeans or Caucasians and how this country is structured. And you will see it all through the medieval times. Okay, so I definitely had to go do that. But yeah, I didn't know I was reaching those heights. I didn't know I was going to open up the doors that I did open up when it comes to time, human behavior, ancient gods. I didn't know I was doing that, and it happened. And I also believe, I do know, because I've gotten many reports. There's a lot of individuals who come out of my fan group or who come out of the conscious movement who have bought my material and present my material as if they're the ones who've done the thorough research and they know what they're talking about. There's a lot of things that I didn't put inside the material that I know personally, because I read over 100 to 150 books to compose that information. Okay. So a lot of people stole from me. A lot of people, there was no ferociousness when it came to the purchasing of the material. There was there was a lot of asking questions and being scared. And I don't have time for the feeble-minded. So because a lot of people have proven their feeble-minded status when it comes to a lot of the information that I present and the things that I study. And yes, I've had to study a lot of crazy sexual dynamics. I've had to study a lot of crazy spiritual dynamics when it's pertaining to angels, devils, gods, and all of this other stuff. And scholars understand that, because scholars write material on these subjects, and it's just something to study. The 95%, the 85% lower levels, they don't understand that these are subjects to study, because, like I just mentioned, all the different types of universities that are on this planet and are dealing with my literature, the majority don't even know. As a matter of fact, When I was writing the books, I didn't even know all of these types of universities were in existence. If I did, I probably would have attended one, and it would have been a different story. It would have been a different Keenan Booker out here. You know what I'm saying? But I had to do all of this on my own. You see, so then I discovered all of these crazy ass universities after I did my own research. Okay, I mean after I put the information on the .edu sites, and all the universities had access to the material. So through their own personal research, keywords showed up that was in my books, and then they ended up reading my material, so on and so forth. So I didn't know that was there. So I'm not going to shake my finger at anybody who's in my audience and they didn't know these types of universities were available, because I didn't. When I graduated high school, I didn't know anything about a psychology, anthropology, astronomy, cosmology, biology, astrobiology. I didn't know about none of those sciences. I love them, and I love them, with in-depthness, and a lot of my homies do too. And they weren't educated nowhere in any university to be involved in these subjects. But when we look at the gangsters of the 1800s, guess what? How were they able to develop the government departments that you see today, like the FBI and the CIA? Is because they loved those subjects too. See, the original gangsters that was wearing suits, nigga, kept a library. You understand? They studied man, nigga. They studied human behavior, existence, what the possibilities are. You understand? So I don't want to hear the bullshit. I don't want to hear it. So it was, that was good. Let's read that. Okay. Basically, you created a historical capsule in book form that could catch us up to speed with the magic of America and the earth. Yeah, you can think of it in that format. The magic that was done with all the races on the planet, because they have their shit. We're not doing. And 9 times out of 10, we're not going to catch up. As was discovered by Christopher Columbus and those who landed on the West Coast, the Gold Coast of Africa, we're divisive. We were divisive then. The different tribes in Africa look down upon each other. They still have this mentality to this day. African Americans look down upon each other. They find reasons to look down upon each other. And even though this is one of the base mentalities of Europeans as well, the Irish, they got jokes about the Irish, they got jokes about the Germans, they got jokes about the Italians, they got jokes about the French. But they also understand that we are all unified in our format. We will identify your uniqueness through these jokes and use the differences as an engine to develop, and through trial and error. And they did that through the course of war. They did that through their brothels. They did that through their holidays and their folklore. They all had uh they all had a similar basis, but there was unique differences for each one, so they can have their own identification, if you follow what I'm saying. But then at the same time, they kept a division, which allowed them to hold pride towards their own reproduction and their culture. Which see, if I hate your culture, I'm preserving my culture at the same time, because I'm not going to get involved in your shit. I like my shit. You understand? So that also allowed them to go to war with each other, and also to trade off their new developments when it came to technology, when it came to understanding, when it came to architecture and things of that nature. And you find that all throughout Europe. Okay, so Black people, we look down upon each other. We just stay separate, or we'll try to delete each other. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that didn't go on in Europe, because it did, when you want to talk about the religious side of things. See, I was talking exclusively about the municipality cultural side of things, not the religious side, which is a different thing, which America is developed upon church versus state, because church controlled state in old Europe. You see what I'm saying? So church versus state here in America is a system of God versus the devil, if you really want to get down to the essence of it. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to the magic that I have presented a lot of areas of magic through all of my books, and magic is found in socialism, and it is definitely a human responsibility that will divide you from the status of being an animal, because animals are used in magic, but animals cannot conduct magic. Only humans can. Okay. And it's done through a lot of different avenues, but the root basis of magic is to make you think a certain way. Okay. And it's a manipulation, okay, for you not to know the essence of science that may have concluded things, okay, and that conclusion is your moment. You see what I'm saying? Your eureka moment. You see? So the magic that was conducted in the ancient worlds is going to take you at least a minimum of 300 years to catch up on. And African Americans, nah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to say yes or no, but from what I've seen, nah, they're too divisive. They're too divisive. You know, African Americans have a mentality of trying to hold a secret and then trying to be the leader because they hold the secret and they want you to goddamn, follow their ass, and they want to be the big Don Juan while they hold this secret over everybody, and don't let nobody get shit. And that's the mentality. And because of that mentality, the development of magic, please show me the Negro that studies colors. Show me the Negro that studies numbers. As a matter of fact, if you thoroughly want to get down to it, every race on this planet is militarized. We're the only ones that's not. Even the Jamaicans and the Africans that are here in America, the islanders, they're all militarized too. We're not militarized, African Americans. So we're worried about being the OG and trying to prove on podcasts on who done been in jail the longest and shit, and who's the biggest OG and all this other shit, which has no level of importance in existence because the OG don't provide a goddamn thing. What are you providing? A tattoo on the face. You see what I'm saying? So the magic that is needed, and when it comes to Black culture, it's a lot. There's a lot. You know, uh, it's a lot, bro. You would have to caricaturize all the major events that happened in African American slavery. That's every single slaughter situation from Slocum, Texas to Idlewood, Michigan, all the way down there to Rosewood, Florida, Durham, North Carolina. You would have to caricaturize all of those scenarios. You would have to find a hero in a lot of those scenarios, like the Jack Johnsons and things like that. And when you get deep down into a lot of the ritualistic practices that happen when it comes to the slaughtering of African Americans during slavery, you will find Egyptian rituals that were conducted on African Americans and have you locked in a behavior standpoint right now. And that comes through a lot of different layers. Like the crack rock was one of those, the 40 ounce in the malt liquor, that was one of those. These are actually ancient Egyptian rituals that were put on African Americans and bled out through the mass hysteria of us being electrically connected telepathically. You see what I'm saying? So to break those is gonna have to be, I broke a lot of them right in front of your face through the literature and the shit that I've been doing over the years. There's a lot more though. I can't say I've done it all. I mean, shit, I've done a little bit, but there's tons of it out there, and they're in a lot of different formats. And we don't have our race divided into flanks. So every other race out here on the planet is divided into flanks. And it's a natural spiritual operation on how they do it too. So it's what you're naturally synced into, and your interest rate. What you should be interested in should be supported, and it should be maximized to its fullest. Understand that man, this shit goes deep. I don't even know if I should be explaining, because these type of conversations and a lot of shit that I'm saying right now shouldn't even be publicized. That's the whole point. Because people gonna look at me as crazy, as they already do. I leave my house and people be looking at me with the bright eyes, like, oh my God, what's this nigga? And shut the fuck up. It's just, I'm be me, my nigga. If you can't catch up because you're slow, because you like to eat the pork rind and you think the hog mog is good for you, then you do that. I'm not in that space, my nigga. I will never be in that space. I don't like what other motherfuckers do. I'm not gonna catch on to what you do. I'm not gonna take any influence from any human out here. I don't know where the fuck you come from. I don't know what the fuck you eat. I don't know what the fuck you was doing or what was done to you when you were a child. I know what was going on with me, my nigga, and I'm good with that. You understand? So there won't be no influence. There's none. You understand? Okay? That's all. There's none. And we can see it. I've maintained sanity while everybody was out here talking about mental depression, and the uterus been out here chasing around, taking down every single fucking nigga. When I done took a human out the uterus right here on your YouTube, nigga. Okay? We done the maintenance of sanity. But it's just taking down everybody on the planet, nigga. I'm goddamn writing an encyclopedia on it, nigga. What the fuck is you talking about a face hugger and shit? Okay? This shit is phenomenal. We keep the sanity. Let's keep sanity, people. Let's stay beautiful in the world. Okay? Because you motherfuckers, but the uterus done took you niggas down. R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby. Come on. Throw some names out here. Come on. The Epstein Island, okay? We got the motherfucking P. Diddy, okay? All you niggas being taken down about some butt. About your own woman. Your own woman that took you to court, nigga. Extract the soul in court, nigga. Okay? You niggas need the white man to help you change laws and all that other shit to maintain a woman in your fucking house. Like, what the fuck? Like, bro. Okay, wash my hands with it. I got the girls on my album. There's going to be another female on this album. Keep it like that because we will have the grace. And no, I'm not fucking on every bitch that's on every song with me. No, don't even put your head in that space, nigga. It's not working like that. Pussy is different up here after 35. Okay, we talking about 20 years of medium rare steak in that hide, nigga. The scent comes up, it collects over time. You understand? So yeah, we're gonna keep it funky. Buy some books from the God because I've maintained the sanity. Oh, we can't forget the polite got taken down. Woo! Drastic. It gets ugly, people. But I've maintained without begging, with providing a product, that can last eons for you and yours. So go ahead and purchase. Go to the Encyclopedia on the Alchemy of Women. Cop. Let me put this up in here real quick. Go get the Kicked Out of Heaven. Cop. Okay? Because you will need it for now and forevermore. Okay? Straight up. We got any questions? You better hit the line right now because I'm about to get up out of here. I got shit to do. I gotta go down here and play some chess with my boys before they hit the sack and shit. I got shit to do. I just got invited to this event going down tonight, so I gotta make a move. So if y'all gonna ask some questions, you better do it in 5, 4, you know. You know. Yeah, y'all ask some questions right now. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta do this, man. I gotta go get fly. What are my thoughts on the border? I don't know, man. They finna come out here, they finna get you, they finna creep in your window, steal your shit. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, my thoughts on the border ain't really gonna do nothing. They're trying, like I said, they're trying to destroy America. It's very clear. They're trying to charge a nigga to drive in New York. They're trying to charge you to drive. You can't even get in your car and go to work without being. This shit is crazy. It's very, and what's obvious about it is that somebody is trying to destroy America, and guess what? We ain't doing shit about it, and that is the scariest part. Is that we're not doing shit about it. Okay. And 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna do shit because all you niggas is out here programmed to listen to your fat mammy. You listen to your fat wife talking her fucking dumb shit. She don't know what the fuck she talking about when it comes to governmental issues. Governmental issues and dealing with politics is a male-oriented thing. Okay? So you listen to your wife and all this other shit, and then you wonder why the country fucking dissolves to a fucking, big ass fucking powder puff, cotton candy, Chuck E. Cheese, stinky fucking COVID cheese pizza bullshit out here. Okay, because you supported that shit. You supported this weak ass shit for the past 20 years. That's why I don't even be so heavy on pushing my music, because you niggas chose on garbage for the past 20 years. You don't even see that shit. What's so cold about the past 20 years with rap? Is that them niggas are nowhere. Did you ever peep that? Where are they? It is the rappers from the 90s that are maintaining the movies. They're maintaining all the podcast interviews. They're maintaining the music, new music. They're even filling out stadiums at concerts. But the bullshit that the majority of society chose on for the past 10, 20 years, woohoo, where them niggas gone? Them niggas is dead. Heroin music, overdose, shot each other up, dumbass after dumbass on top of load of dumbass, and we sprinkle a little bit more dumbass. Okay. Do you want some more? Would you like some dumbass with your fries? Okay. That's where it's at. Did that not happen? I think that did happen. That wasn't in the hands of the 720, nigga. Okay. We took all your fucking Down syndrome sounding rappers, nigga. Where they at? Nowhere, nigga. Thank you. I didn't grow up with Down syndrome sounding ass niggas with no weak ass fucking beats, nigga, and that's why I don't produce that shit. When you become an adult, you don't do the things as a child. You understand? Okay. So yeah, my thoughts on the border, my thoughts really don't matter, bro. Nobody's thoughts on the border matters because the big cojones up in the White House gonna do whatever the fuck they won't do, and they gonna move these motherfuckers around from anywhere. They got motherfuckers showing up here from Asia, Venezuela, deep down in the middle of Africa. You might as well just have a blimp flying over America. Just drop them all out in parachutes. Fuck it. What the fuck is you niggas doing? Drop them all out in parachutes. And come to America, and get your fucking double McCheese, you fucking savage fuck. Like the whole thing is based on love. Do you take care? I take care. When I moved to Vegas, I was in this quote unquote what would be considered the hood. I don't really consider that a hood. I've seen hoods, and I've seen way worse hoods. Okay, so but then I'm over here in the gated community. We must demand greatness, and we must support the greatness. Yes. We have the sexy red, barefoot and pregnant, rapping, and the black male supports that because it's hot. I don't give no room for the she-boom. Do you understand me? Fuck that shit. I don't listen to no motherfucking sexy red, no motherfucking Suki. I don't give a fuck, nigga. Niggas just, let me tell you something about the black brain. The black brain is so lost with their own person and identity that they give no recollection to the history that we have created here in America for us, as the brother mentioned earlier about jazz in New Orleans. Okay, we give no accreditation and we give no appreciation towards our own history in America, and we just do whatever comes through the television. And the reason being is because it's just like Christopher Columbus said when he wrote letters back to Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand. He said clearly, the native doesn't teach their children. And that's what we see today. We have a situation today where the parents neglected the children, and our parents, my generation's parents, they went through revolution and thought they was going to go through revolution and take over the country when this same country was dropping atom bombs on the other side of the planet. And you thought you was going to revolutionize some shit. So then they killed all your leaders, pow. JFK, pow. Malcolm X, pow. Martin Luther King, pow. Fred Hampton, pow. And there was a lot of other motherfuckers too. There was in the small local scenes that got slaughtered, Che Guevara, pow. And then the depression came in. They gave you the heroin, they gave you the dope, and then James Brown came out. I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud, we're funky and smoking the funky. We funky, you know. And all the funk music came through, which was a whole magic system using that word funk, which by definition in the 1500s, funk meant to be that was correlated to the smell that came out of the human when they were in fear. Like they say, don't fear a dog. And the reason why is because the human produces a scent when they're in fear that the dog can pick up on and will automatically chase you. So, and it's also, that word also by definition means smoke. So that's where you saw Black Panthers was smoking, and James Brown, he was smoking and talking about funky, all that funky, and, all that funky shit, the funkadelics and funk. That word play right there is one of the main key strokes that destroyed all the revolutionaryism that was going on, supposedly, right? So then we come into the 80s, and, all of those angry college students from the 60s and 70s, they went and got jobs, nigga. The school bus driver, they're gonna be mailman, they're gonna be, they're gonna go do some shit. They're gonna be garbage man, they work in the steel plant, and they got good money. They had good money and a good system rolling, and they had something to do, and they said, fuck all that revolutionary shit. It went down the drain, and, it was depressing to talk about it because what occurred with the murders that was publicized at that time. You see what I'm saying? So those same children who were so focused on revolutionaryism for their grandparents, which is rightfully so, because you have to understand that those children during those 70s and 80s, their grandparents were slaves. Their great grandparents were slaves. They were talking to, but those, they didn't tell them slave stories though. Those great grandparents, by majority rule, didn't tell slave stories on what occurred because it was so violent, and they didn't want revenge going down or vengeance. What we want is silence, get your money, and shut the fuck up. Join, but the American system already understood. Okay, well, we're not gonna kill you off for slavery anymore. We'll kill you off through these wars, nigga. So sign your children up, nigga. We're gonna have a draft. Sign your children up. We're gonna slaughter these motherfuckers this way. You know what I'm saying? So then your families got slaughtered in front of you and didn't even know it. Because it was done through a blind mechanism of the draft and the war. So then those same parents through the 80s gave birth to us. And those same parents who were embarrassed about their revolutionary acts towards their own family and also towards the American government, but ended up working for the American government anyways in order to survive, they were frozen basically. And through that frozenness, guess what? They didn't teach us a goddamn thing. And that's what they understood. The native don't teach their children. So due to the fact that we weren't taught, we're thrown out here like Moses in the basket sent up the river. We don't know what the fuck to do, and now we're just now figuring it out. And it's real ugly. Because it's so ugly that my generation doesn't understand what adulthood is. We actually, traded against our quote unquote culture because we didn't get taught how to survive in society. And we also neglected everything that they said. And because we rescinded to them, we felt the substitute or the default was the television and media. Okay. And then we sit down and watch Friends and watch these dumbass movies. And we think that, oh, the white man is going to teach us on how to operate in society now through the Friends TV show. And all we got to do is do what Lil Wayne do. And Lil Wayne put a tattoo on his face. I put a tattoo on my face. I dye my hair blonde and all this other fucking shit. And you think that you're in some boat like him or in his financial social rank and you can play out in society in that mechanism. No, it doesn't work like that because the other races, you are like 5% of their intake. They might listen to your music a little bit, and that's about it, nigga. They don't wear do-rags and shit. Other races don't operate like Black Americans do. And they teach their children, and they rear their children to try to be in a better space in society. We don't, you know. So we rescinded against our prior generations, and now we're lost when it comes to adulthood. And in this adulthood status, we don't understand that the uphold of government is a part of that responsibility. Somebody asked me this question. I'm gonna approach this question. I'm gonna get up out of here. Umar Johnson has that revolutionary mindset. Do you think he is operating in the right direction for black kids? No, and it's simple. With the money that he's gotten for the school, a school could have been produced online, and that would have been able to be for everybody across the country. One physical location, and then making it a boarding school where they don't even get to interact into black females. If you're so serious about the black relationship, then you would understand that black relationship between black male and female starts at birth. Okay. Maturity and development of maturity, which requires the interaction of the opposite gender, which occurs at 13, 14, 15, 16. You would have that system in operation or as a part of your educational system. You don't. Okay. So I'm not here to point at what a man isn't doing. I guess he's doing great things by providing the school, but it's only in Philly. So those children in California or in Georgia or in Texas are neglected. They're not allowed to come to the school because it's in one geographical location, even though it could have been provided online. Because you damn sure know how to show up on every single app that is online. You're in a lot of different podcasts using big words, and the Negro likes soft, weak shit. So just like what the nigga Charleston White said, nigga, I was up there with the bow tie trying to help the kids, and y'all wasn't listening. But now he out here with like the ignorant nigga wearing a chain and everybody listening, but then they want to suck their teeth. But then you over here promoting all this murder on the rap. You see, so the black thinking complex is so fucked up. They don't know how to. It takes a lot of trauma to think straight and narrow. Okay, it takes a lot of experience to think straight and narrow. It takes a lot of trauma for you to get focused on money. So these are real things. Is he operating the right direction for black kids? I don't really think so. To have a revolutionary mindset, you have to be educated with war, and he has not presented any war mechanisms. Like, for instance, when it comes to or defense or offense or anything, self-defense or anything, he hasn't promoted any of those areas. So that's not revolutionary to me. You see, and that's another thing. The black mind thinks that educating children is a revolutionary act instead of just going to war. So there it is with that. We think revolutionaries are Bob Marley. Bob Marley played music. He strummed a guitar. That's not revolutionary. To the usage of the drum to make one dance, that's not revolutionary. Screaming on a microphone is not revolutionary. The study of history and philosophy is the basis of revolution. Let's be clear on that. And until you struck that chord, I can't consider you really a revolutionary. Putting on the funny hat or having the little funny, weird afro and doing all this other caricature bullshit because you understand your audience likes cartoons and shit and they like to draw the Afro samurai and act like that's some revolutionary shit. That shit's fucking weak. That's not revolution, nigga. You want to study revolution? Then you go study the 30 Years' War. You want to study revolution? You go study the 100 Years' War. You want revolution? You go study the Riff Raff Moors versus George Washington in 1700s. This is real revolution. Okay? Thoughts on the man who blew up his house raided by the feds and VA? We don't even know what that was. See, I don't submit to what goes on the camera. I don't know if that was a dude. I don't know if that was real. I don't know what that was. Just like I don't know what happened over here at the UNLV. I don't believe nothing. You understand? Like, with the literature that I've written, I've encountered so many fucking lies. I can't respect anything, bro. I can't listen to any the human in the mouth. My name. I don't. It's a fucking full of shit. I only fuck with people who's read read adepts, emeritus, read motherfuckers who stayed in their industry for 50 something fucking years, man. Like, people who were serious about helping people, and they're gonna be serious by creating literature, and that's just the bottom line to it. I'm gonna play 2 tracks, man, and I gotta get up out of here. I got people knocking at me door. So we're gonna play 2 tracks here. I don't even know what I should play. Yeah, this is all the Poltergeist. We're gonna play some Poltergeist real quick. So yeah, y'all let me know. Go to the website. Kickedoutofheaven.com. Support the real one who stayed sane. I don't need no funny afro to try to attract niggas and use all this fucking fanatical, doctorate lingo and jargon to try to confuse people to make it seem like I'm some form of high-level educated motherfucker. Nigga, I keep shit real. And if that's at a level of comprehension that you can't fucking receive, then that's a personal problem. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, we're going to play these 2 tracks. This is Haunted House off of the Poltergeist. And then we're going to play the Iron Shoe. Horsepower in my darkest hour. Get at me.
Don't get whiplash, cause the whip moved too fast. This is witchcraft, you can't fit that in your mouth where the cat piss at. We split rats if they snitch facts about how we get racks. Got dough like Dow Jones and NASDAQ. Yo, Botox bitch look just like a hazmat. Proceed with caution, make them bleed till they see the coffin. We do not believe in talking, vote for the G for office. Chicken hawking, anyone that wants some, this is raw ton. Mr. Iron Lung, keep them hoes unsprung like flies on elephant dung. This shit's on purpose, don't get nervous. Start choking like your throat's not working. Make your face look like a merkin. My fans be hurting for more rhymes. What's he gonna say this time? My game like a landmine that you can't find till you feel a tinkle in your spine like strychnine. Got her Harry Pot open. I guess I'ma be the Harry Potter stroking. The best MC between Boston and Oakland. Got them on their knees hoping and praying, saying that they saw the amazing. God said the earth is not for saving. Keep a fat bitch craving. What's a heifer versus a brazen pool? The great judge makes the rules. Gotta hate grudge for you fools, so they take slugs and ooze. Take your bitch where the fake button move. This is more than paying dues. This is generational wealth. You couldn't have said it better yourself. You're playing with stealth while you're walking with death. So start watching your steps like Billie Jean. He comes from the day of the hay and Billy Bees. Plus he keeps his Chevy clean, but they say he's really mean. Saga City, fuck a team. This is like fuck a dream. Had to get my life right off the triple beam. Damn nigga, can you breathe? Dirty pistol shooting clean. Do you niggas rappers sing? Sound like crap covered with cream. Tell you one more thing about this new thing. How you shooting and seeing what the loot brings. You niggas goofy. This ain't no movie. This is reality. Come and see. Kiss the feet of the majesty that reeks blasphemy. Talk more shit, then colostomy. Is he paid? He got to be. Drop the prophecy every day. On my way in my big wheel. Making big deals. Make your pig squeal for a big meal. I'ma keep it real. This is all hermetic and you couldn't get it if I alphabetic. Born with this shit embedded with wings on my back. Plus a back. Then I'll swing it or snatch. Then she'll be on her knees in the back just to bring me the stack. That's what the fishnet catch. One bad apple fucking up that batch. I've been knighted and scratched. What type of alchemy is that? Turn your unicorn into a Cadillac. Yeah, bitch, daddy's back. Best believe. Bake that bread at 720 degrees. Wake the dead and build a whole army. You couldn't starve me with the famine as I mob with the god mammon. Are you niggas understanding? Guess not. So my foot's cramming in your loose cannon. Won't leave your bitch caboose abandoned. Knock them out they shoes where they standing. This is 1920 jazz blues devil jamming. Moving with the left handed. So the right don't know. Got kilos about as bright as snow. Chris Kringo leave you with a white nose. OG, I keep a tight pose. Keep some happy hype hoes. Sacrifice for the angel Michael. You niggas is recycled and don't deserve a title. I won't speak with my hand on the Bible. 223 in the rifle for the weak rival. Each cycle of the equinox, a silver fox makes Goldilocks. Drink stops and get leprechauns pot. My pimpin' like Ripley's, believe it or not. You niggas know I'm on top. Pull up in that dinosaur drop. It's not your video prop, so please stop. Fuck hip hop. You niggas is hopping hips while I'm copping banana clips for the apocalypse. Them hot link lips is always talking big shit. I figure 8 skate all of it. You skinny G niggas call you bitch, cause I know you scared of shit, but I'll conquer that witch. Horsepower in my darkest hour. Horsepower in my darkest hour. This my iron shoe, the God 72. I had to keep it G, I knew it'd be long overdue. The lone wolf, no crew. Some take notes on how I move, cause I'd rather extract the soul than be the bastard that lose. I give no answers and clues. The master's improved. I keep the shine on my tools. The heated 9 on you fools. So your beef finds its time in stools. The crimes I choose keeps me paid, not slayed. That's why I'm chopping on blades. A jack of all trades. Never spending days in a cage popping champagne. Only made man that's custom made. Some afraid when I came to the game. No emotions didn't play, now they got something to say. For today and tomorrow, with the sorrow we laugh. And I got too much smash to borrow anyone's cash. A survivor at last and never begging. We picked the locks on the gates to get inside of heaven. Got pride with weapons, paid my bills and left them guessing. Now the feds is asking questions. Never let them see you sweating, bring infection to your connections. The rope becomes your blessing. You niggas hang out, so you won't feel no stressing. See the parallels of hell as we hear church bells. No, we're never compelled. Take the oath and won't rot in jail. You niggas is obviously fairy tale. Put your face on a t-shirt and now we got souls for sale. Oh well, never tell is the motto. Life is hard as we chug on the whiskey bottle. Make your bank account look like you hit the lotto. And when I'm on the streets, only goddesses follow. Horsepower in my darkest hour. Horsepower in my darkest hour.